Hello, viewers, and welcome back. This is wolfwire Studios, and this is another continuation. And I know I've been long gone for quite a while, but I was busy with level design and blocking out. And here I am. This, as you can see, seems like the blockout of the main map I'll be building. And that's all I've been doing. I was doing other stuff. I was busy with some other stuff from my college, but now I'm free, and here I am. So this is the main slash basic layout of the map I'll be using, this entire landscape, as you can see. And the empty spaces here, especially here, will be sort of, a piece of a farmland or something because they are widespread in Benghazi, Libya, this much. And the keen-eyed among you might have noticed that this is the consulate special mission compound, and this is the annex, as you can see. This is the zombie land, and I'll call it no man's land, doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's briefly discuss the process of how I went on about creating this blockout. Uh, it mainly it's all about cube grid modeling, okay? Um, like all of this stuff that you see, these meshes, if you can look closely, they're all the same, right? They're all very, very same. So I just went into perspective mode and I picked up an empty place and I used to go to modeling. As you can see, I remember I have done the same exact thing in my first devlog as well, where I was telling you about cube grid modeling. So now it is independent. So, I mean, you need to make sure that you're not selecting any other part because this cube grid modeling as of now will attach anything that you select with the new creation that you're making. So like I said, you can just create this part or create this part and maybe create this part and yeah, like that. And after that, when you're done, just hit complete. This should be a single unique piece right now. Yeah, here it is. And I just laid it here and then I scaled it appropriately. As you can see, I can just reduce it because the houses in Benghazi are not very tall. Okay, Benghazi isn't like a metropolitan city. It's a normal, decent city with a lot of old stuff and orthodox stuff going on. Let me just give you a quick look here. As you can see, this is the part of Benghazi that I was trying to create. This much. Let me just quickly try to draw it. Yeah, this much was the part that I was trying to create here. And as you can see, all of these houses, they are like very small, very short and spread out. There's a lot of, arid land here and less greenery, as you can see. So you get the idea, right? So these blockouts will just serve as a placeholder for whatever I want to put here. There'll be a lot of greenery, a lot of, arid stuff, green land, brown land. I mean, there has to be a lot of stuff here. This is the, I don't remember the name of this place, but this is the, like, you can call it the extra grassland, which was right next to the annex here. But it had some, old vehicles parked up here and, broken down stuff and broken down trees and such. And that is this part is the zombie land where there were a lot of sheeps. So this area serves the purpose of the main combat area, and that is the special mission compound. This is the consulate actual building. This will be the pool, and this will be the cantina. This will be the tactical operations center, and this will be an extra generator room. This is the maintenance room. This is the 17 Feb barrack. So yeah, a lot of stuff. This is the building that will be used as a vantage point by the enemies. So this is the main road. Yeah, talking about the main road and talking about this stuff, let me just quickly run to Blender. Okay, so here we are in Blender. Let me just quickly get this one up here. Let me just bring the annex. Yeah, this is the SMC and this is the wall. Okay, so I made these three things in Blender. First of all, this wall. Secondly, this annex building. As you can see, it's very simple. And the last part being this consulate main building. Okay, I created all of this in Blender and I used the send to Unreal pipeline to send them to Unreal. And yeah, that's all. After that, I brought them here in Unreal, gave it a simple texture, as you can see, a very simple texture. And so it's the same with the annex buildings, and that's all. Now, the thing is that walls need to be procedural, right? You need to adjust them on the fly. So I learned somewhere on YouTube that you can make a procedural system. So a quick tutorial on how you can do that. Not exactly a tutorial, but exactly cut yeah, not exactly a tutorial, but just a simple walkthrough of how you can do something. Okay, so you need a struct. I named it s underscore repeating assets, which has a name for convenience, which has a mesh, of course, a material that you can drop dynamically, and a transform if you want to adjust anything on the go. I mean, for specific actors, like if you want to adjust their scale, rotation, or location. Now, in the blueprint, you just need to make a blueprint of the type actor, go into the construction script. Why? Because this thing, this construction script always runs whenever you're constructing the said blueprint actor. So we need this to be a dynamic thing. So first we made a variable by the name of copies. And as you can see, this I is open, so it is public and you can edit in instance of the viewport editor. Same is with this float repeat width. I mean, what sorry, not exactly what, how much of a gap there should be between the assets. And the last one is the struct using, sorry, the array using the same struct, a variable, which is an array using the same struct that we just created. And that's all simple, simple as that. So now in the construction script, we'll have a for each loop and we have a repeating asset array. So it is just running on this and we are breaking this struct every time whenever we are deploying it. Of course, like whenever you will let me show you guys this thing in action. Okay, like literally it's not a big deal. So whenever you will deploy it, you will put it here, right? So you will go into the details here. As you can see, default, you will have to click on this add an element. So you will add an element to the array. As you can see here, now we have 4 members of this array. So that's what you'll do. You'll just add an element in the loop, and what you're doing after that, you're breaking the struct, getting those individual values, you're adding an instanced static mesh component, a static mesh component which can be dynamically instanced, and then you are setting its static mesh. This is just a component, okay, and you're physically setting the static mesh using the mesh provided in the struct and using the instanced static mesh as the actor, as the main object, that component. And then you're creating a dynamic material, just like a static mesh component, which is instanced. You're creating a dynamic material, which is in a way instanced. And then you're setting that to the target mesh. The target is this instant static mesh component. You are setting that material to it and you're obtaining the source material from the struct. And after that, we are running a for loop on the copies starting from 0 to the maximum number of copies that we have. And we are using the repeat width. And then we are just transforming it. We are adding an instance. Basically, you can do that. If you have a static instance, static mesh component in your scene, you can add an instance over and over again using a loop, just like what I did here using a for loop. And you can alter its value. So as you can see, I'm using the transform and I'm breaking the transform. This is only if you want to adjust the transform on the go, right? But this is necessary, this repeat width. What we are doing is we are taking the particular index, let's say you want 1 copy, and you're using this repeat width to adjust the scaling. But on which axis you are adjusting, that will depend on this node. Right now I'm doing it on Y because I wanted to control my walls first. Of course, I use the same with planes, as you can see. No, not this one. Yeah, I use the same with planes, as you can see. But since planes are practically 2D, so X and Y are not making much of a difference here for me. I mean, I can adjust both of them and I can adjust the scale. So it was all neutralized. But when it came to this actor, it was mainly my wall. So I had to switch it on to Y. In the tutorial, it was on X. Okay. So after doing that, we can just close it. And if I select, if I name this wall and I can select the asset as my wall, the annex wall that I brought in from Blender. Okay, and you can see it's here, right? And it has the texture that I applied to the mesh of the wall, but you can apply any texture you want here. You can just dynamically set it to whatever you want. I'm going to set it to, let's say, the door. So it will dynamically set it to door. Yeah, as you can see. So if I bring it up here, of course, it's not perfect because it's not UV unwrapped, like goes without saying. But the good thing is you can adjust the number of copies. So as you can see, wait, 16 copies, but where are they? Well, it's like sort of like the smart operations in Blender. You'll have to increase the width. So now, as you can see, they're all stuck in between. Let me just reduce the number. Yeah. And the accurate number is around 400 something, but see. So as you can see, it is easy to adjust them. We just pull it back up there. And as you can see now they're spreading up. So around, as you can see, 440 is the perfect scale for them. And yeah, that's it. Simple. You can just use it. You can duplicate it. And that's what pretty much it's all about. And that's what I did to create this annex. Let me just quickly play it and show you guys in action how it is looking. Just a second. Yeah. So this is the entrance, and of course it needs a lot of work on it. This is just a block out. This does not need to be perfect. This will be the checkpost rooms, 2 rooms. This is a mannequin for scale. This will be the gardener's office, I guess, or not exactly the office, his shack or something, and his tools room and such, where he can put his stuff. This is just for references, of course. It is not the final result right now. And I have disabled collision in the houses and in the walls. As you can see, I can just pass through. This is the extra room behind building A, and this is the another extra room, the extension for building A. This, I guess, was the mechanics area or something. I don't exactly remember. This is building A, this is building D. Yeah, this one is building B. Sorry, is this building B? Yeah, building B. It has the small parking area, and that's all. This is the entrance, and I had to scale them up and bring them back. Like, I had to do a lot of back and forth from Blender to Unreal, and I scaled them properly, so now they look really, really nice in terms of scaling. That one there is building D. It has the GRS operators room, I guess. Yeah, GRS operators room. This is the entrance to their room. There is no door right now. I forgot to add one on this side, but yeah, in the in the final 3D model, there will be a proper door and everything. I mean, I'm gonna really model them down perfectly individually, and then I'll bring them here and replace these blockouts. This is the sort of extra, I remember, the sitting area for the GRS team, and this is the where is the entry? Yeah, this is the entry to the building D. And building C is the SCIF or secure compartment facility. This is the extra room that they had, extension, because all of these rooms were really small, the annex building. So they created an extra extension for their convenience. This is the small pool that is not used. This is the I don't remember what this room was, but it was very slow and it had a shed in it. On it, I guess it had the generator. This will be the gym area for the annex team, mainly the GRS teams. This is the back gate, the white one. And this is the path that will be cobbled using cobblestone or maybe hardstone, because it will show us some sort of pavement that we can use the cars to walk on. And this is the courtyard tree, because, well, I'm not making this thing up on my own, okay? I mean, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, see, this is this triangular bit here, the one that I'm talking about here. Let me just bring up the top view. Yeah, this is the triangular bit here. And as you can see, that is the pathway, which is made up of what? A rough tarmac, and I'll be using that. There's a lot of greenery inside the annex as well. Of course, I'll try to replicate this image. I mean, no one owns this image, okay? CIA released a lot of images for references, but no one owns this place right now. It is abandoned and it is defunct. So I'm well within my own rights to replicate it. It is a real world image and it is not any sort of a copyrighted material from a book or the movie. And I'm not going to name them because I want to prevent myself from copyright issues. And not to say that I did not approach the author, I approached the author of the book, but well, he sold the rights to the movie, and I'm not in a position to negotiate a contract with them, so I'll be using the real life references, not the ones from the movie. I can use the ones from the movie for an inspiration to maybe, see how the props are laid out, but I cannot copy it because I just cannot. Talking about this, let me just quickly show you guys the consulate. As you can see, this is the back gate of the consulate, and that's how big it is. Maybe my consulate is a big, huge, like it's a bit huge here. I'll have to shrink it down, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm giving it less area. I don't know. It's really confusing. This is the 17th Feb barrack. This is the tactical operations center, and this is the cantina. Rest of it is just a vineyard. It's a grape vineyard or something. I mean, it's not usable. I mean, half of this is just empty, so I may neglect it. As you can see, the interpretation of my SMC, where is it, is a bit different. See, it's very tall, but mine isn't. I mean, it's not a big deal. I can just move this part of the road here. See, I can very well do that, and I can give this give this consulate a bit more breathing space, which I will probably in the future if I want to make it look realistic. But if I were to, scale things down, let me just go to perspective. Where is the player spawn here? Let me just take it and put it here and just hit play. So here we are. This road is called Gunfighter Road. It is in the book. It was, I guess, in the book, but it's in the official documents and interviews done by the GRS teams. So I can use this Gunfighter, or I'll use it as the Warrior Road or something. Yeah. So this is the back gate of the consulate. As you can see, it looks big and it looks vast. I may have to shrink it. I really feel like shrinking it. This is the pool. This was for the ambassador, J. Christopher Stevens. This will be the cantina. This will be the TOC. And that will be some sort of generator room, as I mentioned. That will be the, uh, I don't know, the gardener's room or something, the cleaning crew. And that will be the 17th Feb barrack. I may have to adjust the scale. I mean, I need to do a lot of plotting, and also I'll surely adjust the scale. No worries. No worries, guys. There's a lot of empty space here. As you can see, it was all taken up by vineyard and greenery. I realized that I don't need to put the exact amount of greenery in my project, so I'll just try to do whatever is best for me. And that's all, guys. That's really it. I just used simple cubes and I used the simple planes, as you can see. I did not use the procedural system for this road because it was useless. And as you can see, the boxes, the walls, they're all. I mean, because of this procedural system, I can just adjust them on the fly. This will be the Zombieland, and that's all. That's really it, guys. This is the basic layout of the map, and I'll start to slowly fill it up, and I'll need to adjust some things here. I need to learn how to perfectly blend those materials because I need tarmac, as you can see on this road, but the rest of the stuff will be mud and sand. So I'll need to blend those two textures together perfectly. And yeah, that's all, guys. I need to do something with the consulate. The spacing now looks awkward, but in a brief sense, it was looking good. I mean, it actually is fine. I'll just leave it. So yeah, that's all, guys. I know it's been quite a while. I haven't uploaded anything, but I was occupied with some work, and after that, I had some exams going on, and I was doing this level design. So I mean, level design is done. If you look at it that way, the basics of level design are just, very simple and completed. Like, that's all. Now it comes about environment design, and I need to put all the props and assets and give them proper textures and, have highly detailed models and all. I can probably buy something from Kitbash and just lay it out all here, like randomly scatter it using some sort of a scatter command, or maybe a scatter procedure system using blueprints. I can do that too, but I need to be careful in the terms of accuracy that it has and in the terms of greenery that it has. And I'll adjust consider it if I feel like. So yeah, that's all, guys. That's it. That's what I'm trying to replicate this part of Benghazi more specifically, because the player won't even need to roam around beyond this point, right? It is what it is, and the player doesn't even need to go anywhere beyond this part. I mean, it ends there. That's all. Other than that, yeah, my narrative does have some missions that will cover the airfield. Yeah, this this part, and one mission that will cover the mayor's house. I'll have to probably create them separately, which I will, of course, goes without saying. Also, I have to create one area which will be the market, the bazaar. I guess it was here. I don't remember. Yeah, it was here somewhere. The bazaar area. I'll create it. No big deal. But the main level is the first important bit of this level design. So yeah, that's all. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. I guess that next one will also take some time. And while you're here, if you do like the work I'm doing, and if you do want to support me, I have my Patreon linked in my socials link in the description down below. Do check it out. And yeah, that's it, guys. Take care and see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.